Do you manufacture hats?
We manufacture hats. We've done ball caps, pretty simple styles, not not fedoras or anything, but those are available from the Far East as well as the Dominican Republic. And we also have USA manufacturing for caps.
And what about beanie style hats?
Beanie style hats we have not done. If you're talking about a processed wool like a beret, or it depends whether it's knit or woven goods. Again, if it's a circular knitted beanie cap, that would probably be all knitted on one machine, and then there's very little cutting and sewing involved with that. So that's more of a function of how the fabric is engineered.
And is hat a similar situation to t-shirts in terms of you're talking about very high quantities, or not necessarily?
Pretty much. I mean, you're talking about a small item. There's not a lot of labor in it, so it doesn't pay for somebody to set up for a minimum run unless there's going to be whatever number of thousands there may be per color, per style of fabric, because you're also guided by the capabilities and the constraints of the mill and how many yards they're willing to make. Because if they needed to set up a machine for knitting, there's a certain amount of time and effort that goes into setting up the machine. You just can't do a small run. In addition to that, when you're dealing with knits and also wovens, there's minimums of fabric because of the way the fabric is dyed. The vats will take a certain poundage or a certain number of yards to get a consistency. And if you're making knit polo shirts, for example, that have a rib collar, the rib collar and the knit body of the shirt are two different materials, yet two different types of knitting, yet you want to dye them together so they're matching. This is something the consumer is not necessarily going to pay attention to because they just assume it's the same. But we in the manufacturing business have to make sure that's coordinated so the knit collars are dyed at the same time as the body, and it may have to be, let's say, 600 units at a time in order to get that color consistency.